Well, imagine facing 100 of your greatest fears in 100 days in a row.
I know, I don't know if I could, but that is exactly what author and fear facer Michelle Poler did, and she wrote all about it in her new book, Hello Fears, and she's here with us now in studio to talk about it. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, so we were just chatting a little bit about this. We want to share with our audience at home. Where did this all come from, this idea to put all these fears into it and how to attack them?
Well, so I was accustomed to living with fear, living inside of my comfort zone throughout my whole life. That doesn't mean that I was not achieving things. I was checking the typical boxes society gives you, like get married, go to high school, go to college, get a good job, get married, have kids, all of those. And I was like, what's next? Having grandkids, buy a home and die, right?
Yeah.
So I need to figure out what is next. And I realized that living inside of my comfort zone was taking me nowhere other than checking those boxes. So that's when I decided to move to New York, and I faced 100 of my fears consecutively. Put them on YouTube. The project went viral, and it changed my life. And what I realized is that you can either pursue comfort by checking society's boxes, or you can pursue happiness by checking your own boxes.
And could you feel the difference immediately? I mean, how far through the 100 did you realize, like, I'm onto something here? This is working.
Immediately. I graduated, I did all these things, and I was like, I guess that's what happiness feels like, you know, like, yay. But then when I started accomplishing real things, you know, for the purpose of fulfilling me and not pleasing anybody else, when you achieve those things, the feeling, the fulfillment that you get is just another level. And I'm like, this is what living life is about.
Right. When you're so terrified of something and you attack it or you face it, and then not only do you get over, there's this saying that like everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. Do you live by that now?
100%. I realized that in life you have two choices. Every single choice you make is either a comfort-based choice or growth. You can't choose comfort and growth at the same time. And when you choose growth, it feels nice. It keeps you in your comfort zone. And I mean, when you choose comfort and when you choose growth, it's challenging. But that's the one thing that will take you to the next level and then to the next level. And that's how we advance in life.
So if we're going to start facing our fears, is there an area of life that you suggest we begin with? Do you want to take on maybe your toughest fear first or the easier one first? How do you even begin?
You begin by asking yourself, what is your definition of success? Where do you want to go in life? And then face the fears that will take you there. You don't need to face all your fears. You don't need to face spiders or heights or anything. Where do you want to go in your life? And those are the right fears that you have to pursue.
What is the most common fear, would you say, that you've faced or you've heard that people deal with?
Disappointing other people. I realize that is the one fear that is keeping people from fulfilling their own potential. They're so focused on pleasing others, on fitting in, that they don't even ask themselves the right questions. And that's what I try to ask them in my book. I even have spaces for them to write, because I want them to, for the first time, look inside and stop looking to the sides.
And that's a real challenge. It can be such a real challenge to hold up a mirror and say, okay, you know, this is real talk between me and me.
You can't lie to yourself. I mean, you can, but...
I know. People buy my book and they keep it in the shelf for like a year before they even have the courage to read it, because they know they will be facing themselves. But once they do it, you know what they find? Their purpose. That's what they find.
So in some ways, is it like a workbook?
It is part of work. I'm not a big reader, so I was like, I want to write a book for myself where it has a lot of images, a lot of pictures, a lot of bright and colorful quotes, and a lot of opportunities for people to write about themselves and answers. So I tell you my story and how I did it, and then I turn the question to you. How would you do this? What are your answers?
Because it's one thing to like identify, like you said, bees, or I'm scared of spiders, but that's what's that really going to get you? It's going to get you to a beehive.
Yeah.
But if you address a real deep fear, where do these fears come from? Is this stuff like we're born with? Is it because of how we were raised or where we were raised? Where do a lot of these fears come from?
Yes, all of that definitely contribute where fears come from. But as society, I feel like there are some cultural fears, and culture creates some fears for you to wonder, like, I shouldn't dress like this, I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't behave like this. And then if we constrain ourselves so much, where is our authentic self? You know, it's so deep inside. Right. So my invitation is for people to first identify what's their authentic self, and then have the courage to bring that out into the world, like in their most unfiltered version. But that's what we want. We want unfiltered people. So we're so used to perfection on social media, and that's, we're tired of that. I think we need more real people.
Yeah. And you have 4 steps in the book for overcoming imposter syndrome. Explain that, and then explain what those steps are.
So imposter syndrome is what tells you that you're not good enough, you're not deserving. And so how do we fight that? My first advice, and I think the most important one, is instead of comparing yourself to people around you, which is so easy with social media, we're all the time comparing ourselves, telling ourselves that we're not enough, we have to start contrasting. How do you contrast? By looking inside instead of looking outside. Asking yourself the right questions. What are your top values? What's your tone? What's your unique selling proposition? Like perceiving you as a brand, and then a real brand, an authentic brand, and then having the courage to put that out into the world. So that would be the first step. Then people ask themselves a lot, why me? Why would people listen to me? Why would I be successful? So my invitation is for them to ask themselves, why not me? Why not?
Yeah, switch that perspective.
Yes. Then there's a really good exercise I recommend called I'm Remarkable Because. And so it's making a list of things that make you feel proud of yourself, and going back to that every time that you feel, doubtful of who you are. I mean, what's the 4th step?
Face the fear.
Face the fear.
Out there and face it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh, thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us.
It's a great place to start, though. Yeah, we really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Where can people get the book and get more information?
Anywhere books are sold, go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, anywhere, and definitely go to my Instagram, Hello Fears.
Yeah.
Hello, fears, and then goodbye, fears.
Crush
Goodbye,
that,
fears.
crush that comfort zone. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.